Hi everybody, it's Barbara. We are working on the third layout of the Let's Party Close to My Heart scrapbooking workshop, and we're going to start out with some of this. I'm using the Nebula glitter gel by Stickles. In the directions, it asks you to use the Aquarius one, which is blue. I forgot to buy it, so we're using Nebula. And you're going to put it on the left-hand side, the upper right, and then the lower bottom, just in a little bit, about an inch and a half or so. Let that dry a long time, a good couple of hours. You're going to feel it is wet to the touch. So you want to let that really, really dry well. Keep a thin coat on this, and so the buckling of the paper will be a little bit less, but you're still going to get some of it. I did a really thin coat, and it still buckled a little bit, but you're going to make up for that with a lot of adhesive once you put these on the backgrounds. So no fear, you can make most of it disappear. It's just needs some adhesive. So let's get started putting together the left page first. This is all dry now, and like I just said, lots of adhesive to put this down so that it doesn't buckle. You can see I've really put my strips about a quarter inch apart, just to make sure that I get every bit of that paper that doesn't want to lay down flat. And that is going to go, looks like about a half an inch from the edge of the pretty birthday paper there. So get your clear ruler out and line that all up, half an inch from each edge, and get that put down. This one was a little bit difficult. It did want to fight me a bit, but I think I got it smoothed out at the end. So I just kind of worked from the bottom up to the top on that. Now this was the tricky piece, because you got to get this all glued before your glue dries. So I'm using a Zig glue here, which is not what Close to My Heart sells. I don't think we have a glue pen anymore. But if we do, yeah, I did not like it, and I will not tell you to buy something I don't like, even if I'm selling that. So Zig works really well. Martha Stewart has one too. And I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. But I'm putting little tiny dots all the way around it. And this piece is tricky. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to reposition it quite a few times. I had to kind of keep moving it around because it needs to lie flat, right? And if it isn't laid out just right, it wants to, bunch up. And so you'll see me kind of reposition. So it's good that the glue isn't quick drying. So just try to get on there as centered as you can, and then just move it, and then let it go. If it's not completely perfect, as long as you can kind of you don't have to snip any of the edges or whatever. I think even if it's a little to the left or a little to the right or a little up high, that's better than having to have it all bunch up. So it started to bunch up at the bottom down here, and I just kept playing with it, moving it around, lifting it to try to make it fit. Now, of course, what that does is it does get some of that glue onto your paper, so make sure you have a handy-dandy glue eraser and just get all those little bits of glue that you kind of messed up on. Be real gentle around the Stickles. Don't use that glue eraser on that. And then I accidentally ripped a piece as I was doing that. But just glued it right back down. No big deal. But this is one of my favorite products ever, is a glue eraser. Okay, so now I've already attached my photo to the white mat, and I just do that to save a little time so you guys aren't watching forever. And then that is going to go a half an inch up from the sides of this checkerboard type paper. And that is a busy paper. So if you don't like the busy look, you might want to consider using a piece of cardstock in there. Any of the colors that are on the zip strip that would make a great piece there. Luckily, it's the only really busy piece on this. The background doesn't show that much, the background paper, so it's not too bad. So I left it that way. But you know what else would look awesome is if you added a little black in here and put a black mat behind the white, and added some black embellishments. That would work too, and that'd make it pop out even more. I'm using quite a bit of foam tape on here, just because I don't like when my mats or anything on mine dip down because they didn't have enough tape on all the sections. So yes, I'm going to be using a lot, but I'm a maker with close to my heart, so I get these at a discount. And if you want to get them at a discount, you can sign up to be a VIP, which does not require any selling whatsoever. It's just a special award type of thing that we have for our people, where you can get, every time you purchase, you're going to get 15% off your next buy. So you can get, it's basically like having a 15% discount all the time. And you get the stamp of the month for free when you spend 50. So that's a way you can get cheaper adhesive like I do. So we're ripping all these backings off, and we're going to get this laid down. It is going to go 2 inches from the top. So what you're going to see me do here is flip my whole page over, because it's easier with my 2-inch ruler to do that from the top down than front ways. So I'm going to just flip that whole thing over. And then 2 inches down from the top, and then it's 2 3/8 of an inch in from the side. So as centered as you can get it. If you didn't get your little swirlies down there quite right, you can adjust your photo just a little bit to kind of give the illusion that that it's all on there straight. So now these little circles down here, I started with the center one. That was a mistake because there's not that much room here. So once I put the one down on the left, I realized I needed to move that center one over. So I can tell you, I'll grab my ruler right now, and I'll say that the first one on the left is 1.5 inches over from the left. So that seemed to work pretty well. The one on the right is a little bit more because my swirly thing was a little off. So the one on the right's about 2 inches over, but you can space it out the best you can, but probably start with the one on the left first. Then add in your stickers. You've got your green heart, your polka dot heart, the let's celebrate the happy day, and the woohoo going in the center. And then we'll be working on the arrows. So you've got the green and white striped arrow, the polka dot arrow, and the Sundance colored arrow. And then you have 2 little acrylic pieces next. Those are the pink stars that are left. And make sure you use a good strong glue on those. And then we're done with page 1, and we'll move on to page 2. That didn't take too long. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, we got one more sticker. The Make a Birthday Wish. I would have popped that up. I didn't, and I wish I had now, because I think it would have stood out a lot more. Oh, yeah, and then we got the 2 stars. 2, you guys. It's so hard sometimes when you're doing this voiceover to remember everything you did. So let's move on to page 2. Now I want to talk about page 2 for a minute. So one of the things I was thinking about changing on this, you've seen I already put some of the photos in, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But just to make it look different than all these circles, I was thinking that it would be kind of cool to put this paper on the top, and then just decorate, because it's a more interesting look than just doing all the circles. But then I looked at the directions, and you've got all these pennants, and the pennants are probably not going to work as well if you do that. So in the long run, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and put these behind. But I just wanted to tell you, this is another way to go, that you could do that. That would also add, if you didn't want to put the decorations, that is 4 more spots for photos. You could get 3x3 photos on there, or we can just go ahead and put, all the decorations on them, and they're still going to look cool, but you just wouldn't have room for all those little pennant stickers. You could put everything else. So it's up to you, but I think this would be a very cool look too, and a way to add more photos if you wanted to. So let's move on. Now I want to talk about page 2 for a minute. So one of the things I was thinking about changing on this, you've seen I already put some of the photos in, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But just to make it look different than all these circles, I was thinking that it would be kind of cool to put this paper on the top, and then just decorate, because it's a more interesting look than just doing all the circles. But then I looked at the directions and you've got all these pennants, and the pennants are probably not going to work as well if you do that. So in the long run, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and put these behind, but I just wanted to tell you this is another way to go, that you could do that. That would also add, if you didn't want to put the decorations, that is 4 more spots for photos. You could get 3x3 photos on there, or we can just go ahead and put, you know, all the decorations on them, and they're still going to look cool, but you just wouldn't have room for all those little pennant stickers. You could put everything else. So it's up to you, but I think this would be a very cool look too, and a way to add more photos if you wanted to. So let's move on. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, I actually messed up and moved my my stickle areas to the wrong place. It's supposed to be turned this way, but it doesn't matter, you know. I've already gone ahead and put in the photos except for one, because I'm going to show you how to do it. I've put in the checks except for one. You guys are smart, and I know that you know how to do this, but I'm going to do one of each for you. So I'm turning this paper over. It's got a lot of adhesive on it because of all that. You can use glue. I'm going to go ahead and use a runner. So this piece right here will be a checked piece. So I'm just putting the glue around it in sort of a square there, and then just going to place that down. I mean, that's all there is to that one. And then the photo is a little bit different though, because you want to make sure you get it placed where you want it. So, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, all these photos on this page are pretty much the same. I don't know why I have so many of the same, but you know, it actually worked because there was 5 spots. So again, you can use glue. I'm going to use the runner. And so I'm just putting it around the circle this time. I'm not going to go a whole square of adhesive. And then I'm going to just line it up to where I think it looks the nicest and stick it in there. Now, if it goes off to the side, off of here, just trim it. No big deal, right? Mine actually fits there well. So that is pretty much it on that part, and we'll speed up the rest. Okay, now that we've got our photos on, you want to put a lot of glue on this page, because you want to make sure you're got a lot of coverage for the buckling from the stickles, and also you've got a lot of different levels of paper behind this template, with the photos are one thickness, the paper, the checked paper is another thickness. So use a lot of adhesive on there, and then you're going to put that, looks like about what, half an inch in. Yep, a half an inch in from each side, and then it's just a matter of decorating. So we're going to go ahead and put on these stickers. I'm just kind of holding up the stickers as I do them so you can see which ones that we're going to use. On the banners, it really didn't matter. They kind of, I worked left to right on them. It doesn't really matter which banner goes where, right? It just matters that you put them on there. So it doesn't have to be a certain one anywhere. And it was kind of hard to see in the directions anyway. So I just went left to right on those, and then added in all of these other little pieces, the stars, the hearts, and the banners, right? And then we're going to use, I think we have 1 or 2 acrylic stars towards the end. And that big red heart that we're going to put on later too is going to be for journaling. So you'll see, you're going to want to put that star up to the upper right. There we go. And because you're going to need a little space for journaling there. Now, if you don't want to journal directly on that heart, because, you know, if you mess up, it could, you know, you don't have another heart, right? There's no way. So this is where, again, those adhesive journaling strips would really work well. And they're going to just pick up the white that's all over there anyway. So you could just cut some of those down really thin and put that as your journaling there, which is what I will do. But if you really feel confident, you can, of course, journal directly on that heart. So now that we're just going to throw on some more stars, and hopefully you're seeing these. I know I put that up pretty fast, but just look at your instructions. If you're doing the instructions online, you can actually, you know, enlarge them on your phone or on your computer so that you can see even better what's on there. And I also took photos of this that are on my Facebook page, which you can see a link to that in there. And you could see the whole thing closer up that way too. But I just enlarge it online so that I can see up close on all of those. And honestly, does it matter whether the green heart goes over to the left or to the right? Or, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So any of these could be very, very interchangeable all over this page. So just do what you want. And then here we are on the last page anyway, and you've still got tons and tons of stickers there. So, use those for any extra decorating that you want to do on all three of the layouts that we did. And also, you can go ahead and save all of those stickers for another time, or to use to make some cards with the scraps that you have left over from this paper. I tend to cut them up and throw them in my different color baskets. The red stickers go in the red basket, blue stickers in the blue basket, that kind of thing too. But don't let them go to waste. Figure out a way to use them right away, because if they sit around for too long, you're not going to use them, right? So. All right, I popped on both the present punch out and the hat punch out. I popped those up on foam tape just to add a little more dimension to the page. And then we're just going to add on these little hearts over here. And I also am going to pop up this Make-A-Wish. And I just put the I call it pop tape, but foam tape directly on the page there. I knew about how long to cut it and then just stuck that on. Much easier than trying to put it on that little skinny piece of sticker, right? And then we have 2 acrylic hearts that are left, and you used a lot of your acrylics this way. This also, use those on another page. Thanks, people. Okay, I hope you like the layouts. I really think these turned out well, and added a lot of photos, actually. So I was able to get 3 birthdays done, and I didn't tell you, but the last birthday there was my nephew. And so we got 2 of Sam done, and then 1 of my nephews. So just one workshop gets you a lot of space to put photos in and get those birthdays done, right? So thanks everybody, and I appreciate you being here.